Let's stay on that topic and bring in Dr. Amesh Adalja. He's a senior scholar at the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security. Good morning. Thanks for being with us, doctor. So let's stay on school here and talk about it in the fall. So most kids won't be vaccinated, but what is their risk for COVID when they return to the classroom? I mean, we've heard Dr. Anthony Fauci even months ago say we can do this safely, get kids back into the classroom. What does this look like? Can we do it?
We definitely can do it, and I think it has to be an absolute necessity. Schools should be open now in the United States for full-time learning, and I think in the fall there really should be no barrier to that. We'll have some proportion of the student population vaccinated, we'll have teachers vaccinated, and we know even in the unvaccinated era that schooling could be done safely if you put into place social distancing and masking policies, if you are really aggressive with extracurricular activities. People weren't getting infected in schools sitting at their desks. It was when they were going to sports or cheerleading or clubs or having clandestine homecoming dances in people's basements and garage. That's where the transmission was occurring. And I think we can do this safe. It has to be a priority. Children have suffered throughout this pandemic.
And you would say, though, that those children under 12 back in classrooms should be masked?
Right now, yes, I do think that they should be masked until we get more data. If the school is completely vaccinated and transmission is down in the fall, there may be some flexibility to do that. Right now, that group is not going to be vaccinated, and there is going to be some level of transmission risk. And our best practices in schools do include having children, the unvaccinated children, masked. And I think that's something we'll have to see evolve based on community transmission. I think they will eventually go away, but right now I think we probably will see that in at least the unvaccinated children.
Doctor, let's talk through some more of this new guidance on masks. So the CDC says if you are immunocompromised and vaccinated, you should still consider wearing a mask. So let's take something like asthma. Somebody suffers from asthma, but they're fully vaccinated. What's their risk of getting the virus and having symptoms, having a severe case? And will the vaccine eventually mean for them that they can return to life without a mask?
For someone with asthma, for the most part, if they're fully vaccinated, they're going to be highly unlikely to have severe disease, highly unlikely to be a spreader. When we use the word immunocompromised, it usually means people that are on high doses of immune suppressing medication, so high doses of steroids, which most asthmatics are not on. But there are some people with autoimmune diseases that take high doses of steroids, other drugs that suppress their immune system, people who've had a transplant, people who are on cancer chemotherapy. That's really what we mean by those immunocompromised patients. And it does look like, when you look at the clinical data, you might see lower antibody levels in those individuals when they get vaccinated. But the clinical data doesn't show that they're getting severe breakthrough infections. And also remember that there are T cells that are not talked about so much because they're hard to measure, harder to explain. Those also are really important in immunocompromised people, even if they might have a lower antibody response to the vaccine.
All right, Dr. Adalja, as always, thanks for joining us.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here. And click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.